Welcome to another interesting analysis video, and today I'm going to talk about probably the most underrated player on the planet Earth, Vasyl Ivanchuk. In the month of April, he won an open event at Minorca with a performance of 28-33. So you might see the final standing here, first top 15 players. There were a bunch of strong players. Vasyl finished with 8 out of 9. Then Lucian Glay, Moral Kartikan, Thomas Sosa, Andy Woodward, Edgar Mamedov, a lot of strong players. But that was not the craziest part. The craziest part is in the month of April, he played a total of 27 classical games across 3 different tournaments without a single rest day. So he was playing chess almost every day. I'm not sure how he kept up with this schedule, because if I play 27 games, I think I'll quit chess after the 27th game and will never return to it, because that will be just enough for years to come. But this guy is just showing the greatest love for the game of chess. 27 games. There are actually some opponents that I played in some online events, even in some over-the-board events like Alexander Katz. I actually beat Alexander in Vegas 2 years ago with white pieces. And there are also some guys, Petkov Momchil. I played Momchil back in 2018 in Bulgaria. He was a little kid, 2000 rated kid. But at that time, of course, it was just clear that the guy is probably going to be IM at least, but he became a strong gem. And the game I'm about to show you was played indeed against Petkov Momchil, Bulgarian young grandmaster, Bulgarian talent. He starts with d4. Vasyl is playing with black pieces and goes for d5, knight f3, knight f6, c4, going for queen's gambit structures. But here, as opposed to playing e6 and maybe going for, let's say, knight c3, bishop b4, Taragozin, or e6, I'm not sure what Momchil would have played, maybe g3, going for Catalan, but d takes c4 was played immediately, queen's gambit accepted, knight goes to c3, and usually the plan is to play e4 or e3 and try to take this pawn back. So Vasyl plays c6 and we're transposing to Slav defense. e4, taking the center, threatening this pawn, pawn goes to b5, protecting it. On this level, those guys know a lot of theory, queen c2, e6, b3. So the pawn is sacrificed, but white potentially get a lot of pressure on the queen side against these pieces and against the pawns. C takes b3, a takes b3, knight goes to a6, going to b4, bishop b2, knight b4, queen goes to b1, and now a6, protecting the pawn on b5. Castle, bishop b7, e5, knight goes to d7. The best move, according to the computer, was knight fd5. I'm not sure why Vasyl decided not to play it. Maybe he wanted to put this knight to d5, because now knight d5, yes, maybe he was worried about knight e4, bishop is coming, but after knight d7, still knight e4 is a possibility. But I guess there is c5, which probably was planned, because after knight fd5 there is knight e4, and after knight e4 here there is the c5 very strong option. Queen c7, knight goes to g5, bishop goes to e7, now queen g4 potentially. Momchil wants to attack the king side. c5, d takes c5, queen c5, knight goes to e4, bishop e4, knight e4, and now queen takes the pawn back. And as you might actually see, black are up 2 pawns, but there is still some pressure that white can put on black pieces. So bishop goes to f4. The idea is that after queen f4 there is bishop f3, and that's what was played in the game. Queen d4, rook d1, knight d3, bishop a8. And now we start seeing absolutely insane sequence. So Vasyl is 15 minutes, Momchil has 12 minutes. As you might see, it's moved 22 and they have used most of their time. So queen goes to f2, king h1, and now knight f4. Rook f1, according to computer it's a miss, bishop c6 was best, but once again, it's just an absolutely insane position with both sides having some chances. Black are prevailing here because they have 2 pieces for the rook, rook f1, and knight goes to d3, absolutely insane knight move. Now if rook f2, knight f2, oh no, my queen moment, bishop c6, attacking the knight on d7, and now bishop c5. What's the idea? The idea is that let's say white take on g7, there's beautiful queen g1, rook g1, knight f2 idea. So bishop c5 is a very tricky move. Bishop d7, king d7, now queen goes to d1, pinning the knight on d file. Queen goes to d4, now knight f2 is one of the threats, potentially, not immediately, let's say. I'm not sure, can they play h3, because knight f2 now, I think there's just rook f2, and this position is actually a draw, because this queen capture comes with a check, rook a2, king f7, queen f3, threatening f7, and Vasyl, look at the time, guys. He has 44 seconds, Momchil has 46, they're starting playing on seconds. And, you know, when you play on seconds, anything might happen. It turns out to some kind of blitz, because yes, there is 30 seconds increment, but it's still extremely tough to play, especially when your king is wide open. There is still rooks that might come and checkmate your king, but Vasyl shows great resilience here, doesn't give almost any chance to his young opponent. Queen b7, king f6, rook e1, rook d8, queen h7. So according to the computer, that wasn't the best. Rook d8 was... oh, rook d8 is actually best. I'm not sure why it tries to make me wrong here. Rook d5. Rook d5 is indeed a mistake, because now rook e5 was allowed. So it's hard. Like, you have 40 seconds, you have to find good moves, and it's very hard. Like, your king is somewhat weak, and you play rook d5. Queen f4 for some reason was best according to computer. Rook e5, queen f5, and the idea is that rook can take because rook e1. If queen h4, king cannot go anywhere, but you can go g5, queen h6, and something like king e7. Not sure if king f7 gives the same. Queen h5 looks like looks like a draw, but king s7, yeah. So as you might see, that it is a very complicated position, and if you make one wrong move, you will be in trouble. Queen h7, I believe, yes. Now, how is computer winning? Probably king f8 and queen h6, king please, this is wrong. This is right. King g6, king g7, and now not even queen g7. Yeah, okay, as you might see, even computer doesn't understand till the end what's happening. So rook d5 was played, and it just shows you that on this level, being with, by the way, rook d5 was played with 1 second left on the clock, because you are added 30 seconds after each move, and rook d5 was played with just 1 second. So h3, according to computer, rook e5. Yeah, I have to refer to computer because after all, this is how we evaluate most of the games. Rook e5, now queen h8, king s7, queen e5 takes, and this position is still slightly better for black because they start pushing the pawns in the center, and potentially on the queen side too. So bishop d8 was played, queen h8, king f7, queen h7, king e8, and now this pawn is protected and king starts running. King j8, king g7, queen g7, bishop e7. You know, honestly, I would be scared to play this position. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's very tough. So you might ask question, why not just take this one? Yes, obviously can take, but this endgame is just completely lost. Bishop b4, you have two passers in the center, you have two passers on the queen side, it's a win. Bishop b4, rook c1, threatening some checkmates, rook c5, king g7, king c6, and he was not scared of anything. So both players, now Momchil makes a move with 1 second left on the clock. King g8, king e6, once again 2 seconds left. Now Vasyl has more time, and after a5, rook b1, knight c6, Momchil admitted his loss, as now he has no counterplay left. This king is safe on b6, knight is great defender, queen also helps to protect. Those pawns start moving, it is a win for black pieces. The thing with this tournament is Vasyl managed to get so many rating points across the 3 tournaments that he managed to get back to top 100. So he managed to get 26, 44, and in the open events. You cannot imagine, you lose one game in the open event and it's over. Look at this graph. Like, yes, he got some of the minuses here, obviously, because he was playing against lower rated opponents every time, almost every time, but he managed to get some edge against these players and haven't lost a single game. Just unbelievable player. And he yeah, you all saw his moment against Daniel Naroditsky in the World Play Championship in New York City, and that was heartbreaking, but he never stops and he keeps improving, and he's playing probably better than ever. It's insane performance. 27 classical games in the month of April. You only have 30 days in the month of April, and he managed to play 27 classical games. That's insane. You know, I played 9 games in April in the Canadian Chess Championship. I played more. I played 14 games. But, you know, I was so tired. I didn't want to play chess anymore. I couldn't even win some of the games against lower rate opponents. So it's tough, but he managed to win most of them and get a lot of rating points, 39.7 to be exact. That's insane. He's 56 years old. He's playing chess like a 20-year-old young man. Keeps winning. Let's see where he will go, because I assume he'll play more and more of these events in the coming months. At least I hope we can see more games of his, because that was a crazy game by him as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you agree with my statement that he is one of the most underrated players on the planet and in the chess history. Because yes, I mean, just looking at the results, he won one of the World Rapid Championships, and Hikaru hasn't won a single one. Just to put the perspective into my thoughts, like, he won the World Rapid Chess Championship, while, let's say, Hikaru has never won it, and many other strong players have never won it, but he did it, and over the years he just demonstrates great quality of chess. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next video. Bye bye.